Ahead of the curve technology. Now, before we get into this concept, I want to just refresh your memory about the history of ahead of the curve technology. And I won't go through it too deeply because, that's not what we're here to talk about. History is important because it tells you where you've been and where you can go. It does not tell you everything you need to know. It's a component of knowledge. And so the history of electricity is very important, in my opinion, starting with Benjamin Franklin in the 1700s. And he gets a lot of credit for discovering electricity. I'm not sure if that's true or not that he did, but he probably was the first guy to really utilize and harness electricity and transform it into devices that we can use. Thomas Jefferson was another guy kind of like that later on. Nikola Tesla was the next huge inventor. There were others in between that are important. I'm not trying to gloss over them, but Tesla invented a lot of stuff. Stuff like alternating current. That's the outlet you see on your wall that you plug electrical items into. That's called AC power. It's more efficient. Alternating current is more efficient because what it is, it's electricity over power lines. From your power plant to your home, there are power lines that you know about that connect to your home or your building where you live. And a transformer knocks down the power. Okay, that over the power lines, it's very high, high power, but then it goes through a transformer, and then the power is reduced to 120 volts. Basically, it's just a more efficient way to distribute electricity. Some of Tesla's other inventions included the light bulb. That's right, he came up with it before Thomas Edison did. Thomas Edison stole a lot of ideas from Tesla. And another thing Tesla invented was radio, even though Marconi got the credit for a while until the 1940s. The U.S. Supreme Court awarded the patent to Tesla as the original inventor of radio. Tesla also invented X-rays. He invented remote control, robotics, the first electric motor, also known as the magnetic motor. He invented a way to distribute free energy to the people, unlimited free energy, but the oil business and the bankers didn't like that. They wanted you to be their slaves so that you'd have to pay for energy. So unfortunately, the idea is there. It's floating around out there for free energy. One of the biggest problems in our world today is especially in third world countries, is the need for free or low-cost electricity. But they want to make it expensive. The ones who hijack the energy industry want to make it expensive. Always remember that. Solar is changing that, though. Tesla also invented lasers, and he invented wireless technology. Now, solar is the next big thing. It's already becoming one of the fastest growing industries in America. I'm not just making this up. I've read lots of articles on Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, and Forbes about this. So you can Google search it yourself and find out how rapidly advancing solar energy is. Just a few months ago, we saw Solar Impulse, the first solar plane to not use any fuel to fly at night. It flew from San Francisco to Washington, D.C. Made some stops along the way in Phoenix, Dallas, St. Louis, Cincinnati, and then Washington, D.C. But basically, that was historic. It's kind of like the Wright brothers, where, people who said this couldn't happen 10 years ago. The aviation industry said it could never happen. Solar airplanes could never happen because solar's not efficient, is what they were saying. It used to be back in the 90s, you needed huge solar panels to generate just a little bit of power from the sun. But now you don't need those huge panels. You basically, it's become smaller panels that give off more power. So solar is rapidly advancing, and I think you're going to see solar electric cars in the future within the next decade. They already have them. They usually these things are tested out at universities like MIT and Berkeley. So ahead of the curve technology is just out of the box thinking, using ideas that already exist and then figuring out how to make them more efficient. So if anybody tells you that technology can never be improved, then basically their brain is the size of a dinosaur brain, which I think was the size of a walnut. So we've seen in just the past 10 years an incredible advancement in all kinds of technologies. And the key to all of that, and I learned this from Albert Einstein, is imagination. It basically starts in the mind. We only use, a small percentage of our brains, and we don't know what the rest of it's for. But if we use more, then we come up with better ideas. Unfortunately, the way the system works is only a few guys get to be inventors and engineers and thinkers, and the rest of us get to be slaves and followers. So think about that. Think outside of the box. That's the most important thing. And if you can't think outside of the box, get together with other people who can and brainstorm, because that's another component to successful ahead-of-the-curve thinking, leading to ahead-of-the-curve technology.